Hi all, right, back with more Red Storm, Dark Blue Defection. This is scenario 4, Iron Eagle. Still not got it started yet. Just press record. Just before pressing record there, I'm looking around saying, it's a bit scary looking this. There's an awful lot going on. So I was having a little glance at some of the new things that are coming about. I did check Howard's post. He's got a post on BGG. Hang on. It's titled Brief Scenarios Overview, and it just lists the sort of new rules that you might need to look at for each scenario. Sorry, I'm at a distance here. So NSC4, it says it introduces the following rules: following a flight plan, anti-runway bombs during dials, the jamming phase, standoff jamming, early warning radars, and the harms. So they're all the things. So it's quite handy to look at that, which is what I should have done. I think it was for scenario 2, wasn't it? And I started off pretty terrible and didn't really have a clue what I was doing. I think there was a lot in that scenario, like from scenario 1 to scenario 2, I think there's a lot that comes into it. But anyway, so they're all the things that are going to come in. So I've had a glance at some of the things. Other things I wanted to look at was, in the Dark Blue Defection rules, were the inherent AAA infrared SAM coverage. So it says that these are what does it say about them? It says, this is on page 24, 14.75, inherent AA infrared SAM zones. A large number of NATO and Warsaw Pact ground units equipped with radar AA and infrared SAM capability are not represented on the map in many scenarios. To reflect this, some scenarios designate a zone for inherent AAA infrared SAM attacks. Well, in this scenario, our zone is on the Warsaw Pact side within 5 hexes off the front. So what I'm taking for that, and I know I've just looked at one that's got a 7, but that should be a 5. It's just I've not got enough of them. So my guess is this is where the front is, and this is a Warsaw Pact side. So this is the front line. So I think I want to say any hex. Now, here's, to be completely accurate, does this hex count? I think the arrow suggests that the front is on this side of that hex. So I would say this is the first of the what should be 5 hexes. If I'm getting this right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 hexes from there, going in any direction. In any of the hexes, any flights at lower deck altitude on the enemy side of the front, well, within the 5 hexes, I can only assume it means that. It seems a bit odd though, or here's a thought: would you not have thought it meant that the 5 hexes are safe, then deeper in from there is where things would go wrong? But I mean, the rule just says infrared IR SAM coverage, Warsaw Pact side within 5 hexes of the front. It kind of says that it's just the first 5 hexes that you'll get that fire. It could be this is where most of the sort of ground units are, isn't it? And then deeper in they've not got as much. They're all up at the front, aren't they? So okay, maybe that does make sense. So, well, we'll go with that, but please let me know if I do have that wrong. So any one of the 5 hexes we move into, if we're at lower deck altitude and we spend a movement point in the zone, we're automatically subject to, well, if it was the other side, it'd be a Jeopard for NATO, but for us it would be a 2K22. And remember, that needs I want to say a 12 or something to hit, which kind of tells you don't want to be mucking about at lower deck altitude when you cross the front, basically. You want to keep your altitude up. However, bombing this runway probably tells me that we're going to have to drop down. I mean, I might be wrong. Maybe the June-Dale bombs, you can drop them from height. No, because I just looked up that rule and I'm sure it said lower deck. So there we go. Anyway, it carries on. Sorry, going back to the 2K22. Resolve the attack as if at 0 range. However, any flight may only be attacked by this inherent 2K22 capability once per game turn. And it finishes with, unlike other AAA attacks, these attacks do not result in visual identification of the flight, which I never really considered. But it's the same. The 2K22s will only fire once per turn as well. So that's just confirming that. So that's something new. And like I say, that was one of the new things that wasn't mentioned in Howard's, but that I hadn't really checked up on. The other thing, let's just quickly look at the things that he's brought up there. The flight path thing is for us. I don't think there's an awful lot to look at regarding that. I mean, okay, it's something new. We've got to follow this within 2 hexes. Go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, where is our target. And these have all got names. This is the ingress point. And there's other points. But you've got an ingress and an egress. So this is your starting hex. And then you've got, probably a target hex. This is our target. So, but we've just got to follow right around that way. And we've got to stay within 2 hexes of it. We can't deviate from that. Okay. What were the other ones? The harms and the Durandals. Both weapons, so you could look at the weapon side of things, which I can quickly glance at. Anti-runway bombs, special anti-runway rocket assisted bombs, ARBs, such as the US/French Blue 107 Durandal. That's the one we've got. Soviets have a one as well. It says anti-runway bombs are treated as normal bombs. However, the bomb strength is tripled versus runways, and non-runway attacks are not allowed. So the Durandal, it's not got bomb points then. On the actual flight, it just shows Durandal. It doesn't list, like the last time we had so many bomb points. But this is saying it's tripled. So I guess if we look at 3 maybe, Durandal. It does say it's a level bombing, but I don't know the strength then. Where does it tell me the strength? Right, carrying on. Only level bombing profile attacks at low or deck altitude are allowed for anti-runway bombs. Only aircraft specifically designated in ADCs may carry them. Yeah, so we are going to have to drop down to, at the highest low altitude when we go bomb here. However, that's probably more than 5 hexes in, isn't it? Yeah, okay. So that would be fine. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I suppose if you drop down there and because you're going to be at your IP. That looks like that might be a safe hex to come in from, or that one. Well, there's a Sam Warren here though as well. So, okay, I don't know how we get the... Oh, hang on. Anti-runway ×3 versus runway only, no effect versus other targets. Right, but what does it go under? I'm just looking at the air-to-ground attack table here and trying to work out where it goes. We've done the AOGM and the ARM. We've done the bomb points, but how do we... Durandal, it's just... I know I've got to do a level attack, and it tells you there about the strength of them ×3, but I don't know where to roll on here. Am I missing the obvious? LGB, is it? That's always a guided bomb, I think, isn't it? Yeah, just what do I roll on here? It must have a value of some sort somewhere, but I don't see it. I'm sure it will be here. Yeah, okay, I was just about to give up on that and leave that out there with you, because it's going to be a while before I'm going to be dropping these bombs. And I thought, let's look at the card, Grant. Well, it's got a 6. So, and the 4, it says use for deep strikes, right? So I don't think we're doing that. And you'll notice that the sight modifier there's a +3, so that's nice. So my guess is the bomb has got 6 strength. That's actually saying it's 6 bombs, isn't it? I think. However, there's no way to mark these off. Well, you know what? We're just attacking the... we're just attacking the runway, aren't we? Are we not just throwing everything at the runway from every aircraft? Well, that would kind of tell me that we've got 6, but times 3 is 18, and then we've got 4 aircraft. That's a lot. What is 4 18s? Well, that's 72, isn't it? So just looking. I mean, it might be that. I mean, there is a column there that goes up to, well, it's not really. It goes up to 60 plus, isn't it? 60 plus. But hold on here. Are these not individual? This isn't bomb strength. Are these not individuals? Can we not fire 4 times with these and roll 4 times? If that was the case for each aircraft, each aircraft would have 18 points of strength, wouldn't it? 3 times. So would we not get 4 rolls on the 16 column? Maybe. Okay. Well, we'll leave that one. Like I say, it's going to be a bit before, and me talking about it here is probably a good idea because John follows along pretty carefully and makes plenty of comments, so he might just answer that for me. Okay, so the Jumdells, what was the other one? The Harms, yeah, pretty short note on them. 17.54 on page 33. Harm. The launch arc for a Harm is the flight's forward hemisphere. So just the forward hemisphere. Maximum range is 6 hexes at deck low, 12 at medium high, or 18 lofted for medium high. Harm, but this is an important bit about the Harms. Harm may continue to attack after radar shutdown. And that's what we got kind of caught out with in that last scenario before last one, where we were launching. We didn't have Harms, we had Shrikes, and they weren't allowed to carry on their attack. So, let me see. Right, sorry, I'm just over at the computer again, just looking at the other things, just to say, follow the flight plan, early warning radars, and then the big one is probably jamming, but let's just briefly mention early warning radars, because there's not an awful lot to, again, page 16, 10.25 early warning radars, both sides may be allocated early warning radars. Well, it's just the Warsaw Pact that have it, and it's up there. My guess is it's something that we probably could go and try and take out as well, but I'm not so sure it's that. It says the EWR will provide an additional detection check on the B column with appropriate modifiers for any aircraft within 20 hexes of the EWR or within 10 hexes if on the deck. EWRs are profile D targets. So that's all we need to know. So it's just another roll on card 2 in it. It'll just be in here somewhere. EWR there, yeah, it's what it said, it was on the B column there. So there we are. That would just give you another chance to detect. So you do your normal detection. Actually, John listed them out as in there was an order to do these recently. I got the impression he had replied before because I think I'd asked about that, and I kind of thought he'd said it doesn't really, I don't think it does matter what order you do them in, but he did list them. And if you look at the order it's got it on the sequence of play card. I think that would just be the order that you do it. So you've got standard, visual, radar search, EWR. So I would be assuming you're meant to kind of do them in that kind of order. I don't know what difference it could really make, but however. Right, and then, well, this is something I'm going to have to read up. I've glanced at all of them, but I know there's a bit more to jamming. I'm not even sure what page it's on. Right, give me a sec. Yeah, because there's a bit to read into this. I mean, I have read it all, but it's been a while. So it starts on page 37 under, I was looking for jamming and the contents, but no, electronic countermeasures, rule 19. So it tells you all about jamming strengths, standoff and spot jamming. and gives some examples. And yeah, I remember reading it all, but there's a bit to look at there. And my guess is that might come into the scenario reasonably early though as well. I'm going to have to look at how to go about it, because it's a Raven flight there. And we're going to be moving him. Who's he? He's Condor there, yeah. So we're going to be moving him, and there's, well, you know what? I don't know. These are all. This is the next bit, right? This is the bit that I'm a little bit confused about, and it's the SAMs. And I thought the AAA, but that seems a bit simpler. Let me get to SAMs and radars. There we go. Now, just as a reminder, this is page 24, 15.11 SAM state. SAM units may be in one of three states: located, unlocated, or hidden. Exception is infrared SAMs have only two states: located or hidden. Show a located SAM unit by placing a SAM counter on the map. Show an unlocated SAM unit by placing a SAM warning marker on the map when the SAM radar is turned on for the first time. Hidden SAM units do not appear on the map. So, these can't be hidden. Remember, we're playing this solo game here though, so I'm just wondering about the state of things here. And it's got two sets of SAMs, and yeah, I've realised something while I was looking at this. And I think this is the reason why. The reason the radars are off for, well, the ones that are off, here's one here, is because they are the SA-13s, right? And that is the infrared SAMs. And the reason that these ones are on, well, I'm not sure if it's the reason, but the difference between the two is this could be a dummy or an SA-13. This could be a dummy or an SA-11. These are infrared, these are not. So I think that's why this is shown off and this is shown on. I could be wrong about that. If somebody's got a better explanation as to why that is. So that made things a little bit clearer to me. And there's two SA-11s and there's two of each. Sorry, there's two of each. So what have we got marker wise? We've got I'll tell you up there. There's three and three. So one of them's a dummy and the other two are going to be real targets. Okay, so the fact that these are shown for each SAM unit. No, that's not it. Sorry. Show an unlocated SAM by placing a SAM warning marker on the map when the SAM radar is turned on for the first time. So we've got SAM warning markers on the map for all of these. And I want to feel like there's something, because it's the solo rules, that, well, hang on, Grab. Can we not get anything from the solo rules side of things? That's a thought. Give me a sec. Okay, bought SAM rules, page 50, 33.4. No SAMs are set up located unless directed by the scenario. So that's true. There's nothing to say that these are located. That's what I was looking for, I guess. Nothing says that these are located. Whereas, if I just jump back to scenario 2, is it 2? I think. It's not 1. Where's 2? Right, here's 2. Yeah, the SA-11 was set up unlocated and the two SA-13s were set up located. But this time it doesn't tell us that these are located or unlocated. Okay. Yeah. Oops. Right, so going back again. SAM warning markers are checked for activation per the SAM activation table. Once activated, SAMs behave in accordance with the SAM actions table. SAM activation table has modifiers based on the number of real SAMs, including infrared SAMs already in play. Players should keep a note of the number. When multiple SAMs are checked for activation at the same time, start with the SAMs closest to the trigger. Now, that's just how they activate. When a SAM activates, follow scenario instructions to determine the type. Place the SAM of that type under the SAM warning marker that was checked for activation. Exception, if an infrared SAM is activated, remove the SAM warning marker and place the infrared SAM in located status. Okay, I think I can probably get this. And remember, we, in the SAM acquisition phase, we can try and acquire SAMs, can't we? Coming back to here, SAM location. SAM acquisition. SAM units must oh no, that's them acquiring us. What am I looking for? SAM location phase, isn't it? Yeah, SAM location phase. In the SAM location phase, both players may try to locate unlocated SAMs marked with SAM warning markers. Okay, yeah, well, we should have remembered all that. So that's then going to tell us what could be here and what might not be here. So we'll leave that. And the flak, the AAA, we've got 5 of them, and up to 2 of them will be dummies. Another 3 will be the 2K22s. Now, this is information that I kind of know, and again, not sure I should know, but there's nothing you can really do about it. But I know for a fact that if I stay above low altitude, it's just that these are only going to activate when we're within 1 hex. So if I move in within 1 hex of that flak there, you know, if I move into that hex, we're going to roll to see if this is a dummy or a 2K22. And if it's a 2K22 and I'm sitting at lower deck altitude, it's either going to fire on me there then, or fire on me when I spend a movement point in there. Probably that. Yeah, probably that. The latter there. So, but the fact that I kind of know that they're 2K22s, I can kind of play around that, can't I? So I don't know if that's... Again, there's some things that you can't just completely sort of kind of randomise, isn't there? So, well, hold on though, Grant. I mean, what you would know to be above that level, wouldn't you? I mean, what else could it be? It's not that it's a different... I mean, yes, we know what the SAMs are going to be, so that's information that... Whereas there's possibly other SAMs that it could be. If you were playing this game 2-player, you wouldn't know what SAM's going to appear, I suppose. But 2K22, yeah, it can only be that, can't it? Yeah. I think so. Unless the fire can thing, maybe. Could it be a fire can? If we didn't know, could that turn into one of them, maybe? I'm not sure. But anyway. Okay, so I think we're okay. I think we can get that, and hopefully we'll get the SAM bit right when it comes. I'm just a little bit... I think it'll probably become clear when I go and do it. Once I try and locate that when I'm in range or something, then we'll probably see what that turns into, and I'll probably I'll realise what it is I'm doing, I think. So yeah, and like I say, the jamming bit is something that I'm going to have to go and have a little read at. But okay, I think, yeah, I'd like to get started though. That's 23 minutes of blethering again. So I'd like to get started at least. I think probably the problem being is I probably do need to find out about this jamming, don't I? Well, first of all, I suppose the important part, this is on page 37, 19, about electronic countermeasures. The heading part after that is electronic countermeasures termed jamming affect radar-equipped AAA, SAMs, and EWRs. So there you go. We can affect that EWR, and we can affect the SAMs. Now, I want to say these SAMs are going to have to be identified first. The EWR's probably there for the taking. And it also says radar-equipped AAA. Well, they are, aren't they? 2K22s are. They're mobile AAA, but they're classed as radar AAA, are they not? I think so. Radar AAA 14.5. I mean, it discusses it as the fire can. Is that just the fire can? I don't know. See, it says, where does it say that they all go under the head in the radar AAA? It says it somewhere. The 2K22 is actually a mobile AAA, right? And the fire can is radar AAA, but I'm sure they're classed under the same title as radar AAA. I'm sure it tells me that somewhere. Give me a sec, see if I can find it. Yeah, as usual, it's one of these things that's at the beginning, which makes sense, doesn't it? It says there are 3 types. This is 14.1 AAA types. There are 3 types of AAA in Red Storm. AAA concentrations, and that's the light, medium, heavy, and the ones that are around airfields. Radar AAA, and then in brackets it's got fire can, and mobile AAA, 2K22 Jeopard or Vulcan. But then it says the latter 2 categories are referred to collectively as radar-equipped AAA. So there's another question to chuck out there then, just to be sure. If they're collectively referred to as radar-equipped AAA, can we, with our jamming, affect them as if this is a 2K22, can that be affected? Because it says affect radar equipped AAA. I mean, I would think so, but I could see that being not the case. But it seems strange to, like, you know, categorise them both together as radar equipped AAA and then say, well, no, that doesn't count. So, yeah, I'll leave that one with you, John. Okay, so they're the things that we can try and jam. Yeah, it's nothing to do with aircraft, it's just to do with ground targets. Yeah, okay. And then, like I say, you've got standoff and spot jamming. A scenario may allocate either player a number of jamming flights. We've got 1 flight. For flights tasked with standoff jamming, the player must decide whether to have the flights enter the map or keep them off map. Well, we've not got any of that then. I do have in my note, spot 2 radars. Flights tasked with escort jamming must enter the map and move in the core. Each jamming flight. Yeah, I'm going to have to look into this. Well, you know what? I don't think... Well, we need to find the range. I don't know what range these are, because if I can jam that EWR, I mean, it's a way up there. So, I don't know. We'd need to find that one out, wouldn't we? Okay, it's noting it's... and the data chart is it may spot jam 2 radars at the same time. Okay, so normally you would only be able to do 1, I suppose. So spot jamming 19.34 on page 39. Some flights with standoff jamming capability also have spot jamming capability. Okay, so we obviously do have both then. So they may also spot jam markers on EWR, SAM or radar equipped AA units with their radars on in the flight's standoff jamming arc and within the flight's maximum standoff jamming range. And that says, yeah, okay, it's down there. Just strange angle, but see, that's the flight down the bottom. You see at the very bottom, we hear jam. So it's got a 3 in green and then 16 in square brackets. Well, does the chart maybe help me out with that better? Radar. Where is he? Raven, isn't he? Yeah. No, it doesn't really go into that. I don't see the numbers anywhere, in fact. Okay. Well, these are obviously ranges. I mean, you can see that third one is 64. So let me see if I can make sense of that. Right, I think I found it out. That wasn't easy to find, and I'm only finding this from an example I mean, I dare say this must be noted somewhere. I think the green numbers are at strength, and obviously the numbers are the range. So at a range of up to 64 hexes, we would have a jamming strength at 1, 32 hexes, a jamming strength at 2. I think that, because the example here in the page 38 says that an EF111A and an EC130 at ranges of 15 and 25 hexes from the SA4 respectively. At these ranges, the EF111A has a jamming strength of 3, but you can see 15 hexes, that would match up with that. So, and the EC130 is a jamming strength of 2, so it mustn't be as good. Yeah, so I assume that that's what they are. Okay, so, well, you can see that, maybe still not 32 hexes, but, well, possibly. Well, yeah, easily. It's actually, at the moment, this EWR is 21 hexes away. So, that falls into the middle category, so we'd have a 2 jamming strength. So I think we could attempt to jam that. Now, I don't think we have, well, we're still really needing confirmation if the 2K22s are jammable, if you like. I assume that all these are just worm markers, so we've not got these detected. So I'm going to assume that we cannot do anything jamming wise on them. But I think we can try and jam that. And does that mean it switches off, or... Right, I'm not really sure if I can do that now then, because on page 39 it talks about 19.35 early warning jamming. During the raid planning phase, players may choose to allocate any flights tasked with standoff jamming to early warning jamming instead. Well, is that not just giving you extra modifiers for it though? I mean, what are we're just tasked with, it just says jamming, it doesn't specify any type of jamming specifically, so yeah, I think that's a different thing. I think we can still yeah, okay, standoff and spot jamming 19.3. So we put markers on the map. Yeah, I'll get around to that. Enemy radars, EWRs, radar A and SAMs inside the 60-degree jamming arc will be jammed to varying degrees based on range and the radar's angle to the jammer. Radars outside this jamming arc are not affected by the jammer. Okay. Maybe there's a table that we could look at to try and maybe clear some of that. This is only a chart I could find with any information on jamming. So standoff jamming flights at medium, high, very high may set a 60-degree standoff jamming arc at the start of the jamming phase. Helicopters only may standoff jam. Low spot jamming. Marker placement for standoff jamming flights on SAM, radar equipped AE with their standoff jamming arcs out to a maximum jamming range. Jamming strength for spot jamming is 2 times normal. Yeah, none of that's helping me at all. None of that's giving me what I need to. I really need to sit and read this, don't I? So I think I'm going to have to do this before I start, because I mean it's the second phase in, is it? Or yeah, I mean we've got random. Well, we're not even going to get a random event because this is turn 1. So then we move straight on to the jamming phase. Well, what does it say on the actual sequence of play? Each player NATO force places or adjusts standoff and or spot jamming markers, and it references the rules. Each player NATO force rolls for early warning jamming, 90.35, if capable. That's the thing I was reading about. I think I only roll for that if I've selected to allocate the task to be early warning jamming instead. So my guess is that doesn't apply. I guess I'm linking that in with EWR. You know, I'm thinking EWR, but that's maybe not what that means. Early warning jamming doesn't mean. So will be jammed to varying degrees based on range and the radar's angle to the jammer. But I need more information then. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna pause for now and go and read this. Which is a bit of a bummer. I'd kind of wanted to just go. So we're 35 minutes in, we're still not moved anything. But I'll just pause for now and hopefully get this read. The thing is, not sure. I'm gonna have to go away and take the dogs out now, I think. So I'll be back with some better knowledge of what I'm doing here, hopefully. Okay, cheers. Hi all. Right, I've been on pause there for quite some bit. Okay, I've just finished reading through the jamming rules. I'd like to say I've got a better idea of how things work, but I can see myself fumbling through this a little bit. But we shall see. I mean, I thought at first it talks about different tasks. It talks about what is it? What am I trying to say here? What's the different types of jamming? Escort jamming and standoff jamming. But it doesn't seem to be a specific task that, it just says jamming. Although I suppose when you look at the tasks at the beginning of the book, where it shows you tasks on page 12, it does have two different tasks, escort jamming and standoff jamming. So, but it has just said that our task is jamming. So, and there's a slight difference to both these. And if we look at the task, one of the things that was concerning me was, if it is standoff jamming we're doing, it says it may not voluntarily move within 5 hexes off the front, abort if any aircraft in flight damaged or crippled. And then the escort jamming is abort if any aircraft in flight are damaged or crippled, or if all escorted flights abort. Right. But that one about may not voluntarily move within 5 hexes of the front. And that's... Oh, hang on. That's a different rule that's linking me to. Okay, give me a second. 8.3... Right, hang on. Right, so there is a description and it gives you the rule to look at. It's on page 13. 8.341 is escort jamming tasking, 8.342 is standoff jamming tasking. I can assume that we must be standoff because escort jamming tasking, flights tasked with escort jamming, are dedicated to protecting specific bombing or SEAD flights in a bombing or deep strike raid. Oh, well, maybe not. I mean, because we are like right beside a bomber. It says, it continues, they may move freely without restriction. However, if all escort flights in their assigned raid are eliminated or aborted, then the escort jamming flight aborts as well. If not assigned to a specific raid by the scenario, escort jamming flights are not required to abort due to the status of bombing or SEAD flights. And then standoff jamming tasking, it says, flights tasked with standoff jamming are very high value assets that would not be allowed within enemy SAM range. They must stay at least 5 hexes from the enemy side of the front at all times. Players may choose to allocate standoff jamming flights to early warning jamming. Yeah, I looked at that and wondered about that bit, but that's a different thing, and that's something you can choose to do, and I don't think that comes into this. But it still has left me a little as to which one we are meant to be doing. I mean, in the scenario, it talks about, well, in the mission briefing, a flight of F111 aardvarks are tasked with destroying the runway at Schweinfurt. They will be supported by 2 flights of F-16C Falcons, tasked with SEAD ahead of the bombers. F-15A Eagles will fly cap in the area of operations. And then an AF-111 Raven is available for jamming of enemy ground radars and may prove vital in getting the bombers over the target. So I don't know which one we are then, actually. I don't know if we are escort jamming or standoff jamming, because it is kind of, well, is it relevant to know? I mean, these jammers don't actually need to move that close to the action. You can see they've got a big range. What was it I said? I mean, up to a range of 64 hexes, but then that only gives them a strength of 1. Ideally, they're looking for their full strength of 3, and that's at 16 hexes, but I think if they were to get close to, I mean, within 5 of that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that's as far as we could sort of go there, then it might be within 16 hexes, everyone. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Well, actually, it does stretch up to the EWR, which is probably furthest away. So maybe. I don't know, though. I'm going to have to be helped out with that one, I think. I don't know what one we're doing. And I don't know if I can go close to the front or not. Because, I mean, all it says on all it gives as a task is just jamming. Okay, well, I guess we'll get going and see how we proceed. So, one of the other things I was I was a little bit stumped, and I was looking for jamming stuff on the play raids and that. Well, I've realised now what it's kind of all about. If we were doing if they were allowed to do an EWR, so detection attempt on us, well, you can see here normal detection, zoom in a little bit, is A through F. Early warning radars, which is the EWR, is B. So it's that column there. But you'll see here, standoff spot jamming, there's a -X to this. Standoff spot jamming, a maximum of 6. This number is the maximum strength that you can get. I want to say I read something about a Patriot missile, which is one of the NATO ones, can only have a maximum of 3 to it. But anyway, that's the number that you can have as a maximum. So we can have a total strength of 6 applying to EWR searches. So basically that puts a -6 to this die roll. That's what that does. Well, if it's got the strength of 6. If you look at what we were saying about the range here, if we were in 16 hexes now, I want to say that we were within 32 at the moment of the EWR, so I think it's possible for us to get 2 strength on it. I also think it might be possible to do a spot jamming on it as well, and when you have a spot jamming on something, this doubles. Again, only up to a maximum of 6. Now, you can have multiple aircraft jamming the same thing. We've only got one aircraft that jamming. They're keeping it simpler in this scenario, which is good, I think. And the other thing there, I suppose, is spot 2 radars. Now, I looked at that, didn't I? Does that mean it can spot jam 2 targets? May spot jam 2 radars at the same time. Okay, so that's good. Okay, so I'm just showing you some of the other things, that the reason for this jamming and whatever. Here's SAM acquisition. So if a SAM's trying to acquire us, if we have a standoff jamming on it, or even some spot jamming, you can see here standoff / spot jamming strength. So target defensive jamming strength. That's the flight. It's that's the flight itself, and that's if we've got some jamming on it, right? And that's its defense. That's the flight's advantage. That's the actual aircraft's defensive jamming strength. This would be the standoff and spot jamming that this jamming flight is given to benefit this, to try and avoid this acquisition. And then the other ones are, well, that was an acquisition, but if you look, SAM attack, no, there's nothing here. I think it's on SAM defense then. So SAM attack, but if it was a hit, with Roland Sam defence, and you can see we've got standoff spot jamming and defensive jamming here. Notice though that they're not applicable to infrared SAM. So I'm assuming we can't. Yeah, it doesn't do anything in infrared SAM then, does it? So we can't spot jam an infrared SAM. I mean, it's not a radar. It's infrared. It uses infrared. Yeah, and I think there was one other. Well, AAA. Yeah, that. Well, that's maybe on period 1. That was the stuff for the AAA. I'm just wondering if there's anything in there. AAA, mobile, AAA. Yeah, radar mobile. Yeah, there we go. Down the bottom there. This is for radar / mobile AAA. Oh, well, there you go. That does affect the 2K22s then, because they're definitely in this. They're mobile AAA damage. They're mobile AAA units. So my guess is we can put the, and again that just says standoff jamming, so there's not any spot jamming on that. Okay, right. So just reading about spot jamming, wondering why it wasn't there. I'm still not sure, but some flights with standoff jamming capability also have spot jamming capability, CADCs, which we do, and we've also got the bonus of being able to do it on 2 different targets. In the jamming phase, flights with spot jamming capability that are tasked with either standoff jamming or escort jamming, again, I'm not sure which one we're doing, may also place spot jamming markers on EWR, SAM or radar-equipped AAA units with their radars on in the flight standoff jamming arc and within the flight's maximum standoff jamming range. Quite a mouthful, but understood, I think. No more than 1 spot jamming marker may be placed on any one EWR, SAM or radar-equipped AAA. A flight's standoff jamming strength against EWR, SAM or radar-equipped AAA with one of its spot jamming markers is double the normal standoff jamming strength at that range. Okay, so it just doubles it. So what I was looking at there on period curve 1, I think, if we had our standoff jamming, and if we spot jammed that AAA, then that would get the strength that we had, say we've got a strength of 2, it would get doubled to 4. So yeah, I'm just a little confused because did it not say spot jamming somewhere else? Yeah. See that one says standoff / spot jamming. Why does it not say it on that AAA? That was what was kind of confusing me. Why does it not say standoff / spot jamming there? There's a question. I keep putting these questions out there, but I know John's going to make comments, so. Okay, so yeah, I've got some idea how it works. So I think we'll just get into this because we're at the 48-minute mark and we've still not done anything. So this is kind of making me feel, bad. So let's get on with it. Right, we're going to start the scenario. We're going to look at period card 4 for our sequence of play. And like I say, I think the reason being is we're going to get to jamming pretty quick. As in, right now, almost. Right, so we're on turn 1, and we do not carry out the random event on the first turn. So then we move into the jamming phase. What do you know? So each player NATO first places or adjusts standoff and or spot jamming markers. Each player NATO first rolls for early warning jamming, if capable. Right, I don't think we're rolling for that. I don't think that applies. I think I need to have selected early warning jamming task or something. Which, that's not what we're doing here. So, okay. We've got, right, well, it's not that aircraft. I might have to move things along a bit. Right, okay. So it's a Raven here that's the flight concerned. Right. So I've got my jamming. I don't know if that player age really helps. Well, it kind of does. It kind of makes things. I'll keep it handy as well. Also, it's just the shortened version of what we're doing. So in the jamming phase, We can place a standoff jamming marker. Try to find where it actually tells me this. Hang on. Right, okay, so 19 point. I should have just looked at the sequence of play. It actually lists the rules there. It's pretty good for that. So 19.32, it references 19.32, 19.33, and 19.34. So 19.32 is on map standoff jamming, which is I think what we have. 19.33 is off map standoff jamming, which we're not doing, I don't believe. And 19.34 is spot jamming, which we're doing. So it's really 2 rules we need, but there's quite a bit to them. So, now I won't tell you about the flight. Right, it says the standoff jamming marker is placed on the jamming flight's counter in the jamming phase, and in most cases can be pointed in any direction. CADCs for limits for some aircraft. Well, I didn't see anything that was saying that was limited, so I'm going to assume that we don't have a limit. So we can place it pointing in any direction. The direction of the arrow on the marker defines the standoff jamming arc. The marker moves with the flight, and sorry, this arc is 60 degrees. So whatever that arrow is pointing, it goes 60 degrees out. The marker moves with the flight. Do not change the direction the marker is pointing as the flight moves. Standoff jamming markers may not be placed on a flight during the jamming phase that is disordered, aborted, or marked with maneuver, SAM avoid, or BVR avoid. Right, if the jamming flight is on or moves on a hex side, place the marker in one of the hexes on either side of the flight. I'm not really sure. I mean, I guess it changes the 60 degrees slightly, but I don't like putting the counters on the actual flight, but the problem there is that it's meant to actually go right on the actual hit, right on the flight to sort of cover the 60 degrees, I think. Anyway, flights must not be disordered and must be at medium or higher altitude. Right, well, I don't think we're going to start off with that then at all, because we're at low altitude. Okay, well, that tells you what you've got to start with, Grant. So we need to be at medium or higher altitude to do this. Anyway, and then also any flight with damage or cripple. Right, and then remove a flight standoff jam marker on any of the following circumstances. And this is the kind of big one. The first one, a flight voluntarily turns during movement. So if we turn at all while we're moving, the standoff jamming marker comes off. And I think it's all linked to any spot jamming you have on. So the spot jammer would come off as well. And if we also dive to a lower altitude, it would come off. If it conducts SAM avoidance or anti-radar tactics, these are all conditions that would remove standoff jamming. Flight is marked with disordered, abort, maneuver, SAM avoid or BVR avoid. The flight takes a damage, crippled, shot down, combat result. In all cases, the flight may have a standoff jamming marker placed on it in the following jamming phase if it meets the conditions for doing so. So although it drops off if we turn, come the next jamming phase, we can put it back on, and then that way you could point it in a different direction as well. So, and you've got to think that 60 degrees, right now if we're looking at Condor, it's Condor, isn't it? Is it? Yes, Condor. So right now we're looking at what I could do with doing is getting some standoff jamming markers, couldn't I? And possibly some spot. These are lettered, so my guess is that probably not. Yeah, the letters will have to match, Grant, won't they? Right, wait till I get a couple of counters here. Right, okay, so I've brought out 3. I've got just picked A. So I've got an A standoff jamming marker, which is this. And then I've got 2 A spot jamming markers. And the reason I brought 2 is because because of this special note, we can spot 2 radars. So what we could do, well, obviously we can't do it just now because we're at low altitude. But we can point it in any direction we want. So let's well, you're kind of looking at, let's just say we're pointing at that the hex side there then. So from there, from that hex, we go 60 degrees out in an arc, and anything caught in that arc is possible, is going to get jammed. Now, anything in that arc, we can also put a spot jamming marker on. Again, within the range that it can go out, but the fact it can go out 64 hexes is quite, I mean, okay, only with a strength of 1, but the closer we get to them, the better the strength is. But then I could put a spot jamming marker on one of them in that arc, and that would double up the strength. So that's what I'm seeing is how it works. So we shall see as we move on here. But realising that we do need to get to a different altitude is going to make that slightly easier then. So I can't do any of that. Standoff jamming flights at medium very high may set a 60 degrees standoff jamming or at the start of the jamming phase. Yeah. So I need to be at medium high or very high. And I would need to have standoff jamming to be able to spot jam. So we can't do any jamming turn 1. So there we go, after all that. Right, well, let's move into the detection phase then. Okay, so NATO's a D, Warsaw Pact's a C, nothing changed there. Let's just look at our guys first then. So, well, going by the order, the normal detection is, I think it's standard, then visual, then radar search, then EWR. So standard first. We have nobody at the deck, so that is not going to help us. So let's just go through our flights one by one. So I'll start at the top with Saint, who's at low altitude. So we're rolling on the C column, need a 12 or greater. Yeah, and this is where this EWR, the standoff spot jamming bit would work. Yeah, okay. But then that only applies to an EWR search. We can't standoff jamming any kind of normal detection attempt. You know, the standard detection, there's nothing we can do to stop that. So on the C column, first Saint, we need a 12 or greater. I've rolled a 12, bang on. So he's detected. Okay, and then next is Silver Fox there. Same again. And the 12. 12 again, bang on. Wow, okay. Right, so Silver Fox is spot detected too. And then Cobra. 14. Okay. So Cobra's detected too. And then down to our bombers and our jamming flight. Right, so what is it? Slam first. 11. Oh, I just missed. And then Condor. Now, no, the jamming capability. No, nothing's affected there. Right, 5. So not for them. So none of them are detected. However, that's just with standard. Well, I suppose am I not better just sticking there and then going through, because the fact they're all generic flights still, we can't do a radar, but we can do an EWR, and right, we're 20 hexes away. I think it only reduces it to 10 if we're 10 hexes away, I want to say. Right, give me a sec. Right, early on the radars, both sides may have allocated early on the radar units to augment their detection capabilities. EWR will provide an additional detection check on the B column with appropriate modifiers for any aircraft within 20 hexes or within 10 if on the deck. Well, we aren't on the deck. I need to count out hexes there though. So I'm assuming it gets to target every aircraft. The EWR will provide an additional detection check on the B column with appropriate modifiers for any aircraft within 20 hexes. So can it have a shot at each one? I guess. I'm guessing so. Right, well I can count exactly 20 hexes to slam, so Condor's just out of range then. So I'm guessing we can have another attempt on slam. And then of course this is on the B column, so it's you can see slightly better chance. It's only a 10 it needs, and it lists it there EWR. So just needs a 10. And of course this is the one that if we had standoff spot jamming, it would give a minus modifier to this. So we need a 10 or greater. Rolled a 12. Again, rolling 12s pretty well. So slam is detected after all. Right, and that's all the detection they can do. Like I say, radars, well, they're probably too far away for radars anyway, but while they're generic flights, they can't do any of that. Okay, over to the Warsaw Pact. So the flights A and B up there, they're both at high altitude, so no modifiers. Now we roll on the D column, so we need a 13. So roll for flight A. I rolled an 8, so no. And flight B, I've rolled an 11. What did I need? 13. Okay. So not for them. They're both at low, so let's check them. So C and D. Let's check C. I rolled 18 there for C. So he is detected. Oh. Oh, hang on, I've got these drowned the wrong way, haven't I? I've got them all showing detected. Is that just my bad, or? They surely didn't start detected. No, give me a sec. Yeah, they should all be undetected, so let me fix that before we carry on here. Right, okay, that's it. Now, I think it was D I just rolled on, was it? I think it was. I think we didn't get C. Yeah, that was with that pause when I realised. Right, I think that was right. So let's E and F then. They're both at medium, no modifiers again. Need 13. Let's roll for E. Roll 9, so no. And F. Roll 10, so no. So we only found, got one of them. We have no EWR. We do have some radar. Biggest radar, the F-15 has 25 hexes. I suppose it might get in within them. Hang on. Right, well we can actually get E and F. It would be given the -1 modifier because it's more than 20 hexes. Or was it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was over 20. Hang on. Yeah, it's over 20 hexes, so it's only that flight that would be able to try it. So this is aircraft radar search, isn't it? I'm okay to do this. I'm just let me just double check this. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think we can do this. It needs to be in our forward arc. You can see Cobra there. It's Cobra we're looking at. Well, actually, yeah, because of that far away, I think the forward arc goes away out there, doesn't it? And it goes away out there. So they are in our forward arc. So I think we can do this. Now we're rolling on the base column. It's the very end column, so we would need a 10. However, there's modifiers here. Range to target, this is the -1 I was talking about, and it's because it's greater than 20 hexes. So there's a -1 modifier. -1 target in different altitude band. We're at low, he's at medium, so we're going to get a -1 there. Target at deck, no. Target at deck and rough, no. Searching flight and B mark of target. So hang on, we've got -2. Searching flight. Are we in his beam arc? No, I would say we're in the front arc. Because it's that far away, well... Yeah, because that comes out there, doesn't it? Yeah, I think I think we're still in its front arc, so I don't think we're getting that. So we're getting a -2, and we needed a 10. So let's look at E. I've rolled 14, -2 is 12. So, yeah. I'm feeling hopeful that we're getting that right. So we have got him. So again, -2 on this. 11 -2 is 9, so that just misses out. So we're not getting F. But by all means, let me know if I've got that wrong. Oh, sorry, hang on, stop. I can have another attempt, because we've got track wheel scan. So I think you can do that on each attempt. You can only do one aircraft once, but because we've got track wheel scan, I could have done that one again. I could do this one again if I fail. Just once. I rolled 8, well, -2 is a 6. So no, but I think that was right. I think we got 2 shots of that. Okay, and then the other radar we've got is I've got a range of 16. Not going to get anywhere there. But I think we couldn't check this again. It wouldn't be because we've got another aircraft to do it. We can't do it on the same. Once this has been checked with radar attempt, that's it. If I recall. Okay, that's all the detection done. Ah man, we're over an hour. Okay. So, movement phase. Can we get some movement done, Grant? Okay, well, let's try at least and get it started. So we've got our chits. That's what a chit, nothing's came out of there. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yeah, there's 10 chits. Okay, so we're going to roll for initiative. So 1 to 6, it's NATO. Oh, it's 7. Right, so it's going to be Warsaw Pact. They're going to take the initiative. They're going to draw a chit out the cup. And we're both so small flights. You need to have 9, I want to say it's 9 flights to get a large. So, yeah, we're both on the small side still. So that's a 2 on the large. So it's only a 1 on the small. So they're going to activate 1. So we need the bot situation out. Yeah, okay. So bot fight movement phase order. So we're going to roll 1 dice. And it is a 9, which means diamonds. Now, yeah, right, so we've got a diamond there. That's a heart. It's a bit annoying, this, isn't it? That's a heart. That's a diamond. So flight A is a diamond, and flight B is a diamond too. So flight A, B, and E. Was that shown on the card? No, it's not. It's a pity they didn't have that on the card. With the symbols, it's just got to look underneath them to see. Okay, so we've got 3, what did I say? A, B, and E. Right, so it goes in alphabetical order. So it is flight A. It's going to be the flight right at the top. That's right, isn't it? Okay, so and they've got, well, actually no, they've got 3 waypoints, Grant. Their flight path is from 1. And remember, this is our ingress waypoint. We do not do the altitude change, random altitude change roll. So we're flying from there to there, and then down to there, and then they just go back again. So flight A, and then we set at, it's a MiG-21 Queen. MiG-21 Queen. Where was it? Tell me. No, I'm looking at the wrong bit. Yeah, MiG-21, combat throttle, Queen movement profile, combat throttle. Okay. So he's at high altitude, so speed at high for the MiG-21. What's what? I'll bring, because I suppose we're going to be referencing this card for until they start finding some flights. So at high altitude, you can see he's got a speed of 4. He's got no issues on him. He's just going to move 4 along the flight path. So yeah, nothing really. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Like I say, we don't check the altitude change there. He's still at high. And yeah, that's him. That's him done. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, right, so over to us, we'll draw a chit. Two on the large side could be the same one. Well, whether it's the same one or not, it's the same. Oh, wait now, I've not put the other one back in the cup, so it's not the same one. Right, I better do that again, because I'd left the one at the cup there. So. Okay. Right, I got a 4 on the large side. So it's a 2, so we get 2 of our 5 flights. Okay, so, well, I suppose, well, we know what we want to do with Condor. We want to climb him, well, medium or high altitude. I guess high altitude's probably safer. But that would be a zoom climb situation, wouldn't it? Can we do that? Yeah, we are clean, yeah. Because you can't do it if you're laden. Do you need to set dash throttle to do it? Oh, I can't remember. You probably do, don't you? Climb. Let's not go there. I need to check zoom climb, whatever that is. Yeah, we do need to dash. Laden flights and flights at combat throttle cannot zoom climb. There's penalties in combat. You remove at the end of the turn. So it's 2 movement points to do the second move. So see, I don't think we want to really move him. You don't really want to move him too far anyway, do you? I'm saying about getting too close. I think we'll just probably keep him in. Well, the only problem with that is it means I'm going to have to start turning to come around, and then that means the jamming drops off while we're turning, so there's that to consider. Right, okay, I think, well, Condor is the aardvark, so if I set dash throttle at low altitude, I've got a speed of 5 then. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to set dash throttle. We're going to have a speed of 5. I don't know if I can just climb in the hex that I'm in. I don't see why not. Well, I'm going to have movement points left over anyway. So, right, let's start off with a climb to medium. A couple of markers. Right. So we'll start off by spending our first movement point and going to medium altitude. There we go. And then we'll move 1. I'm a bit... I think I'd rather not have him going on the... Well, that means he's going to have to... No, you know what? It doesn't matter, Grant. Doesn't matter. So that's I'll move them forward 1. That's 3. Right. So now I'm gonna climb them again to high. So that's going to cost me another 2 movement points and give him a zoom climb. We've got 1 movement point left. I'm just going to move him into that hex there. So he's high. He's dashed, and he's got There it is. The zoom climb. Better put it that side. And that was his last movement point. Right, so now he's ready next turn to be able to do something in the jamming phase then. Okay, so that was one of our flights. Okay, who else do we want to move then? I guess our F-16s, they're the ones doing the SEAD tasks. And that's Saint and Silver Fox. That's these two here. So these want to get in the mix. So I think what we'll do is we'll keep Saint up this half. He's slightly further up. So we'll keep him up this half. We'll bring Silver Fox down into this area more. Cobra's just going to come into here as well. I think that's where it looks like you can see all the red dice are their waypoints, and like I say, we shouldn't really have that information, the potted waypoints, but what can you do? You're playing it solo, so there's certain things that can't be hidden from you. So, but anyway, so I think I'll do something like that, and then Slam or Bombers. Well, no, he's not got a choice. He's got to follow this way path, hasn't he? So he's not got a choice at all. Right, so I'm going to move Saint, I think. Now he's at low altitude. Now we already said that these flak. I don't know if we should be wanting to try and take them out. We've got EOGM missiles and we've got HARMs. HARMs are the one that attack the SAMs, but if it's an infrared SAM, no, sorry, if it shuts the radar down, you can still continue attacking it or something. Yeah. But against the AAA, I mean, do we want to be trying to take them out? What have we got? We've got 3 AAA targets that are going to appear. 3 2K22s, and we've got 2 SA11s and 2 AC13s. So, I mean, you've got quite a lot. You've got 7 different things to appear on top of the aircraft that are out there. Now, what do we not get points for then? We don't actually for the 2K22s. We don't get anything from destroying them. We get 2 points for a SAM or EWR unit totally destroyed, or 1 point for a SAM or EWR heavily damaged. So I suppose it's worthwhile possibly try to go for the EWR, but I think it's maybe all about the SAMs. So, well, there's 2 SAMs in there, and then there's another one behind, and then there's the EWR. So if Saint goes up towards these, probably want to find out what these are, because this bombing flight has got to come around here and come back through here on the way back. So it'd be better for Saint to find out what these are. So I think I want to maybe fly close to them. Now, we know they're 2K22s, and we already checked this out, that as long as we stay at medium altitude or higher, they will not affect us. So, okay. Well, I think Saint is at low altitude, so he's an F-16. You can see the card up there. So, low altitude would be a speed of 4. However, I'm going to dash for him as well. They don't have as much fuel though, Grant. Yeah, they don't, but I feel like I want to do it just to get started. Yeah, again, these all kind of want to be at higher altitude, don't they? On saying that, if they're going to launch the EOGMs or HARMs, I think they've got to drop back down. But well, I suppose, I tell you what, if we find out that maybe one of these or both of these are an AA, we might want to consider taking them out, because that's going to interfere with my... Well, oh no, you know what, Grant? This is worse here. Going through here. Is that where the flight... It's going right through the airfield as well? Ugh. That's kind of horrible. Because this is where bombing flight starts, and up here is where it's already carried out its bombing run, so we don't care so much about, well, maybe we shouldn't think about it that way, but we don't care so much about getting hit coming back home, do we? But we do here, and this is not only this going to, oh dear. So I think this is more important. So I think I want to get Silver Fox moving first then. So let's change that. Let's make it Silver Fox. Let's dash on. Okay, I'm not gonna zoom climb on, but I'm gonna climb onto medium for a point. Oh, sorry, I've not got a dice yet. So we set dash throttle, so we had the speed of 5. So I've climbed up my medium. That's a speed of 4. So 1, 2, 3. 330-degree turn, because we had the speed of 5. 1, 2. I've got 2 movement points left, so I think 3, 4. And we're at medium. We're dashing. That's all my movement done. Yeah. Now the airfields. Yeah, no, they fire at medium as well, Grant. So you're gonna have to get up. I'm gonna have to get up to high altitude. Well, there's. Now, what was this thing talking about? John was talking about suppressing things. I don't know. Can I do something about this? Because the fact that bombing flight's going right through there. I mean, I know it's airfield closed. Now, hang on. Well, I'm not sure then. Is this still in our control? I think this is behind the front, isn't it? So is this Warsaw Pact controlled? And if it is, it doesn't matter about us being, then, because then if it was our airfield, we went through at deck altitude and not had an issue. It must be controlled. It's got flak either side of it. So I'm not so sure what we do about this, unless there's something we can do about the AA concentration there. I know John was talking about something in that last mission about maybe suppressing that. I don't know if we can do that. But we can possibly do something about these 2 flak. Okay. Right, well that's Silver Fox moved. That's our 2 flights moved. Oh, I didn't put a counter on Condor. What's I better do? Right, okay, I'm probably gonna come straight back, I think, but we're at an hour and 20 odd minutes there, and with very little gameplay, but it should start getting better now. Although looking about here, I'm like, what to do? Yeah, I'm not sure about things. So, Okay, well, I'll take a pause. I'll take a cut there anyway, and we'll finish this part because it's getting on a bit, and I'll hopefully be back. I might just take a pause myself though, but I've still got a little bit of time just now. Maybe some later on as well, possibly. We'll see. Okay, I'll be back with the next part sometime soon. Okay, cheers.